One wrong move can destroy everything, but the right move can rebuild an empire. Episode 8 of Power Book 4, Force is where survival turns into strategy. And Tommy Egan proves once again that when he's pushed into a corner, he doesn't break, he strikes back smarter than ever. Episode 8, titled Build Back Better, opens with a heavy feeling in the air. This is not an episode about fast action or loud chaos. This is about tension, planning, and the quiet moments before violence explodes. After everything that happened in Episode 7, the message is clear: Chicago is no longer stable, and Tommy's world is hanging by a thread. Tommy Egan starts this episode surrounded by problems. His operation has taken hits from every side. Enemies know his moves, allies are questioning him, and law enforcement pressure is growing stronger by the day. What makes this moment dangerous is not the guns or the threats, it's the uncertainty. Tommy doesn't know who he can fully trust anymore, and in his world, doubt can be deadly. The title Build Back Better is not about hope. It's about control. Everything Tommy had is damaged, but instead of rushing into revenge, he slows down. This episode shows Tommy doing what he does best when things fall apart. He thinks. He studies the board. He watches people closely. Every look, every pause, every conversation feels loaded with meaning. Chicago itself feels different in this episode. The city is quiet, but that silence feels dangerous. Old power structures are breaking, and new ones are trying to rise. Everyone wants a piece of what's left, and everyone believes they deserve more. This creates a perfect storm where small decisions can lead to big consequences. What makes Episode 8 powerful is how it sets the tone for what's coming next. This is not the payoff episode, it's the warning. It tells us that rebuilding is not clean, not fair, and not safe. To build something stronger, something else has to be destroyed first. And by the end of this episode, it becomes clear that the real war hasn't started yet. But it's coming fast. This is the moment where Tommy stops reacting and starts planning. And when Tommy plans, people usually don't survive the outcome. Episode 8 moves forward by showing how power in Chicago is no longer stable. Nothing feels solid anymore. Everyone is adjusting, watching, and waiting for the right moment to act. This is where force slows the pace but increases the pressure. Every scene feels like a test, and every character is being pushed to show their true nature. Tommy Egan understands something that others don't. Rushing right now would be a mistake. Instead of reacting with violence, he chooses patience. He listens more than he speaks. He lets people think they are winning. This is classic Tommy, but more controlled than before. He's not just surviving anymore. He's reshaping the game in his favor. Throughout the episode, we see Tommy having careful conversations rather than explosive confrontations. These talks may seem calm on the surface, but underneath, they are full of threats and warnings. Each word is chosen carefully. Tommy isn't asking for loyalty, he's testing it. He wants to know who stands firm and who bends under pressure. Meanwhile, other players are making moves of their own. Some see Tommy's silence as weakness. Others see it as something far more dangerous. Power starts shifting not because of action but because of fear. People sense that something is coming and that fear makes them reckless. Deals are made too quickly. Promises are broken just as fast. Law enforcement also tightens its grip in this episode. The pressure doesn't come with sirens or raids. It comes quietly through questions, surveillance, and growing suspicion. This makes the situation even more unstable. One mistake, one loose end, could bring everything down. The walls are closing in and everyone feels it. What makes this section of the episode strong is how it shows consequences. Past choices start to matter. Old alliances feel fragile. Characters who once felt untouchable now look exposed. No one is safe and no one is fully in control. By the end of this part of the episode, it's clear that power in Chicago is changing hands, not through violence yet, but through decisions made in silence. Tommy isn't rebuilding with force. He's rebuilding with strategy. And when the time comes to act, the damage will be far worse for those who underestimated him. This section proves one thing. In Power Book 4, Force, the quiet moments are often the most dangerous ones. Episode 8 is not just about moves on the street. It's about what's happening inside the characters. This is the episode where masks begin to slip. People say one thing, but their actions quietly tell a different story. Trust becomes a rare thing, and loyalty feels more like a temporary deal than a real bond. Tommy Egan stands at the center of this shift. He is no longer the reckless outsider trying to prove himself in Chicago. In this episode, we see a calmer, sharper version of Tommy. He watches people closely. He notices hesitation, fear, and ambition. Tommy understands that rebuilding his power means understanding people better than they understand themselves. Some characters appear loyal on the surface, but their body language tells another story. Long pauses, nervous looks, and forced agreement reveal doubt. This episode makes it clear that betrayal doesn't always come with a gun. Sometimes it comes with a smile. The show spends time letting these small moments breathe, making the tension feel real and uncomfortable. Other characters are driven by fear. They know the balance of power is shifting and they're trying to protect themselves. Some start making quiet backup plans. Others try to attach themselves to whoever looks strongest at the moment. These choices reveal who is thinking short-term and who is thinking about survival. The title, Build Back Better, takes on a deeper meaning here. It's not only about rebuilding an empire, it's about rebuilding trust or deciding not to. Tommy begins to accept a hard truth. Not everyone from the past deserves a place in the future. This realization changes how he speaks, how he listens, and how he decides who stays close. There are also moments where silence speaks louder than words. Characters avoid eye contact. Conversations end too quickly. These details suggest that everyone knows something bad is coming, even if they don't know when. The show uses these quiet signals to build tension without needing violence. By focusing on character instead of action. Episode 8 strengthens the story. It reminds us that force is not just about crime, it's about people making choices under pressure. Some of those choices will save them. Others will cost them everything. The episode prepares us for betrayal, loss, and hard decisions. Because once intentions are revealed, there's no going back. And when the truth finally comes out, rebuilding will require more than strength. It will require sacrifice. The final moments of Episode 8 don't rely on loud action or shock value. Instead, they leave a heavy feeling behind. This is the kind of ending that stays in your mind, because it quietly confirms what the entire episode has been building toward. The storm is no longer far away. It's right at the door. The closing scenes make one thing clear: the rebuilding phase is over. Plans have been set. Lines have been drawn. Even if characters don't say it out loud, their choices show that there is no turning back now. Whatever happens next will not be accidental. It will be the result of decisions made in this episode. Tommy's position at the end of episode 8 is dangerous, but controlled. He doesn't look panicked. He doesn't look rushed. Instead, he looks prepared. This is important because it tells us that Tommy has accepted the cost of what's coming. He knows rebuilding an empire means losing people along the way, either by betrayal, by violence, or by choice. The episode also leaves several questions hanging in the air. Who is truly loyal? Who is only pretending until the right moment? The show doesn't answer these questions directly, and that's what makes the ending strong. It forces the audience to pay attention, to remember past moments, and to rethink what they thought they knew about certain characters. What Episode 8 really sets up is conflict on multiple levels. Not just street-level war, but emotional and psychological battles. Trust will be tested. Fear will drive decisions. And once violence starts, it won't be easy to stop. This episode is the bridge between tension and chaos. Looking ahead, Episode 9 is clearly positioned to explode. All the quiet planning, silent betrayals, and careful choices are about to collide. The rebuilding promised in the title won't be clean or fair. It will be brutal, and not everyone will survive it. The final message of Build Back Better is simple but dark. You can rebuild what was broken, but it will never look the same. Something always gets lost in the process. And in the world of Power Book 4, force rebuilding doesn't lead to peace. It leads to war. Episode 8 doesn't end the story. It sharpens it. And from here on out, every move will matter more than ever.